So this is Big Bear Child and Youth Advocacy Center, and this is basically where the children, youth, and families first enter our building. The design of the entrance is just to really help reduce that stress and anxiety right from the get-go. When we think about children entering the RCMP detachment versus coming into a setting like this, it's very, very easy to see how this is way less traumatizing, way more welcoming, a lot more comfortable. The feedback we've had is it just feels like they're coming into a home versus a government type building. So it was really important to have a design that right from the get-go, when they come in the front door, they're just feeling a sense of comfort and calmness and being safe. Okay, and so this is our advocate space. It's situated right at the front door because when a case is first referred to Big Bear, the first thing we're doing is coordinating the team to work together. So RCMP, child protection, the suspected child abuse and neglect clinic up at the hospital, interior health, and just working together. And so really there's one case that they're working towards versus everyone having separate information. And so that way, that is the best way to ensure there's no pieces being missed, that gaps in services are recognized and hopefully mitigated, and the services that the children and family are needing, that's the services that they're getting. So while that's going on behind the scenes, our advocates are reaching out to the families, sharing about what the criminal justice process is going to look like, what the investigations are going to look like, and then just describe like what the forensic interview, more what that's going to look like coming to Big Bear, and just what to expect at Big Bear. And so our advocate space is right here at the front because the families already know that the first face they're going to see, the first person they're meeting at Big Bear is going to be our advocate welcoming them at the door. They are the only people that are in this space. The professionals come through the back door and they kind of hang out there until the family is just accommodated as far as how they're feeling and just reducing any stress or questions that they have. Then usually the families are brought to the family room, and so they just kind of come through this. This is like our transition space. So a lot of the kids love just kind of counting the bears in the center, and of course trying out the little people chairs, and so that's kind of a popular thing to do in here too. And so essentially this is where the advocate brings the children, youth, and the support families that are here before the forensic interview. This is kind of where they first come with just the advocate. It's a quiet place. When they're here, they can just ask whatever questions they need to ask. If they're hungry or thirsty, there's snacks and coffee, tea, juice kind of thing, and they can just kind of be here and just kind of calm. And that's, the best for everybody. It's increases the chance for kids to be able to tell their situation to the RCMP when they're feeling more relaxed and more calm. And just in the long run, knowing that this process, we really want it to be all about being calm and just as least traumatizing as possible. So there's little things that kind of we have in here. There's little tools in here that help kids de-stress. One of our advocates made these little worry worms, and kids of all ages seem to love them. They take them right into the forensic interview room, and it's a reminder that when they squeeze it, reminder of their confidence and their strength. And the teddy bears, so we don't want to give kids gifts right before or after the forensic interview, but after the forensic interview, they do notice the bears, and we do let them know that they are all up for adoption, and if they would like to adopt a bear, when they leave Big Bear, that for sure they can pick a bear to adopt. And obviously that starts with them naming their bear right off the bat, and it's kind of a special thing for sure. Before they have their interview, we do, the kids and the family knows the people that are going to be in this room. So we do have someone like the clinical nurse specialist, we have a forensic interview specialist, we have the RCMP, and we put everyone by their first name, and we just really want to personalize their journey and just help the children recognize that these are all people and this is a team working together. So this is one of our forensic interview rooms. So this is done, usually it's the RCMP that are leading the forensic interview with the child. And this is where, this is the opportunity for the child or youth to really share their experience and situation of what's happening to them. And so if they've been hurt or if they've experienced something very traumatic and they're all witnesses, this is that opportunity that we're really just hoping that the kids can share their experience in the situation with the RCMP. And so this is all recorded, and this, it does have the potential to go to a Crown and go to court. And I'll show you the back room in a bit. It's recorded live, and so Child Protection is also viewing this as well. And and this is where we can hopefully get the full story of what's happening to these children, so we can provide the services that they're needing long term. This is our meeting space. So this is again a multi-used room. It's open to families if they want to use this. Sometimes we do get several caregivers and support families that are coming with the children for the forensic interview, and just sometimes families just want different spaces on their own, and so of course this room is open. And so halfway through usually the forensic interview, or even when kids just say they want a break, sometimes they do want to go back and say hi to mom or dad or whatever, whatever caregiver is here, or use the washroom or get another snack. And then it's a good opportunity for the forensic interviewer to now meet with their multidisciplinary team that is also here. And so before Big Bear, a lot of this weight is put on that one forensic interviewer. Not necessarily was there a team in doing this together. And so we do have to recognize that this is a heavy-duty job for people that are doing these forensic interviews. It is very stressful and can be traumatic work for them as well. And so creating this team, all this weight isn't on that one professional. It's done as a team and done collaboratively. And so this is where the forensic interview, the meeting with the child, is recorded, and the team that's back here supporting that forensic interview and really wanting to hopefully just have that one interview done with the child. So you're really hoping to get that whole experience and situation of that child being able to share everything at once. Because we really don't want to put the child through this again. And so that's why when you do have a team, you have a better opportunity of helping that child tell their whole situation. Sometimes in cases that can be more complicated, like when a child has a disability or is even really young, because we do get kids here as young as 3. Just really trying to help that forensic interviewer have the best possible meeting with the child as possible. But after the forensic interview, now this is a time, and again the advocates already have shared this with the family as far as process, but then we let the kids know that after the forensic interview, now it's your caregivers or your parents' time to talk with Child Protection and the police, and then the child can go with the advocate in the child youth room to debrief. The time that they spend in the child youth room really helps us understand how is that child doing and what are they needing to recover and heal long term. So that's a really important piece. And we also want to share things with the parents, like after that forensic interview, absolutely it's okay to ask your child, how did it go? But what we ask of parents is, please don't ask for details, because that can be really stressful for a child if they're not ready to talk about that. And so this is a great opportunity for parents to ask those questions that they are probably burning to ask their child, right? And let's just help our child just deal and heal with how they need to heal. And so this is a great opportunity as far as just really helping the parents and just helping create that team of everyone working together. So another important aspect of Big Bear. Essentially, when the kids come in here with the advocate after the forensic interview, the first thing that the advocates really want to do is just engage the kids in some sort of activity. So we have a lot of art, we have colorings, we have books. The Treehouse is very popular, the structure. We also have, you can see the window art, the chalkboard. Probably the most popular is the chalkboard. Something amazing that came out of our very first young person that came to Big Bear when we first opened. All kids typically have questions about who was here and just want to know that they're not alone, that they're not the only one going through this. And so that first young person that came here had all those questions, and of course all we can say is, you know, anyone from 2 to 18, all genders, all ethnicities, and can't really share much more than that. And that young person asked if they could leave a message for the next young person that was coming here. And so the amazing thing about that is they found a way to connect with each other and support each other and not even know who each other are. And so now what we've put in our process, when young people come, actually this is the first room they see, because when we're talking with them on the phone or FaceTiming them, we say, hey, actually the last youth that was here left a message for you, and would you like to see it when you first come to Big Bear? And so along with coming into our center, they see a personalized message that is just for them. And so they read that before going into the forensic interview. They do say things like, you know, if I can talk, you can talk too. Your courage is strong. You will be okay. I know life can get difficult. Just know there's people here that will help you. It's just amazing because they come in and this is a message that was from another child or youth that had gone through the forensic interview, and this is them sharing that experience. And so after the forensic interview, that is what kids want to do. They want to write a message now to the next person. So that's been a big piece in this room is that message board. So this is now children that are going through, if they do have to testify or there's a hearing or they want to read their impact statement in court, there is the option to apply to have that done right at Big Bear instead of going to the courthouse. And that alleviates just tremendous stress of knowing that they don't have to go into the courthouse and possibly run into that alleged offender, or just the stress that it's just so open with public. And so you can see this is private, and it's just it's a pretty amazing service that we can offer. As well, this is also an elder space, and so again, it just provides a private space for Indigenous families that maybe want to participate in a prayer before the forensic interview or even before the remote hearing and so forth. So it just offers a nice private space for them to be able to do that. So this wing, this will be the, it's not quite finished yet, but the youth forensic interview room. So this is where the furniture will be set up for older youth, and then we'll have that one as a designated young person room. And then this is just an extra office where we do take on practicum students, not meeting with our clients, but a lot of times we do take practicum students from universities to help us with projects or help us with research and just certain things like that. So nice space that we can offer them. And part of the CYAC model is also, I think we talked about that before, but it's also taking care of the people who do this work. There is research that demonstrates, vicarious trauma is very high, specifically for our forensic interviewers. And time again, when you're repeatedly hearing about children that have been hurt, it does weigh on professionals. So part of the CYAC model is really taking care of the people that do this work. So this is staff area. So just a nice kitchen space, just a nice mutual ground, and so it is not uncommon for after a forensic interview where just sometimes they need to just be on their own, have a cup of coffee. Sometimes Child Protection and the RCMP will just sit in here and have a cup of coffee together and just kind of debrief each other, or just, relax. Sometimes there are no words. And it's a nice place that they can do that. One of the last rooms to get repair, but this was just our kind of space where they can just debrief on their own if they're needing to walk out a stressful situation, or we had a relaxing kind of yoga area. And again, this is for staff to be able to brief on, especially some of those really challenging cases that I think most of them do hit your heart pretty hard, some more than others, and so it's very important to have a space where staff are taking care of themselves too. So just finishing getting this back up together, but this is our little gym and just kind of zone out area for sure.